After a rocky first year starting at quarterback, can Aiden Childs hone in on his skills and become one of the best QBs in the Big Ten next season? Analysts across the nation were excited for Childs last year, but after starting the season poorly, he has been written off by many as either a bust or an afterthought. He started this year throwing 8 interceptions in his first 4 games of the season versus FBS opponents. In addition to that, he took 30 sacks last year and only 13 touchdown passes. But even with these horrible stats, Childs is one of the most intriguing players in the Big Ten. After a massive underperformance in 2024, he might be the most slept on QB in the conference, or he could also be the biggest bust in Michigan State history. The range of outcomes for Childs this season is certainly huge. We're going to get back to this and break it all down. But first, I do want to welcome you to the Big Ten Huddle. I'm your host, JR, and we have an awesome show planned for you. Today, we are diving into the story, the play, the whatever you want to call it, of Michigan State's Aiden Childs, a quarterback with all the tools to be successful, to be a star in the Big Ten. But after a rocky first season as a starter, can he take the leap in 2025 and prove he belongs among the conference's best? Let me know your thoughts and comments in the comment section. Like, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating on the podcast. Let's look at Aiden Childs, okay? Aiden Childs arrived in East Lansing with head coach Jonathan Smith from Oregon State, carrying big expectations. At 6'3", 217 pounds, he's got the size, arm strength, and mobility to be a dynamic dual threat QB. In 2024, his first year as a starter, Childs threw for 2,415 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions, was also tied for the Big Ten lead in picks. He also struggled with fumbles, and the Spartans finished the season only 5-7 with an offense that ranked in the lower half of the Big Ten. 24/7's Brad Crawford ranks him number 12 among Big Ten quarterbacks, citing his arm talent but noting his careless mistakes. That's a fair assessment for a sophomore going into his junior season, in my estimation. But it also sets the stage for a critical junior season. Childs has undeniable talent. His quick release accuracy on short and intermediate throws and ability to throw on the move makes him a headache for defenses. He's also a gifted runner, shifty, tough, capable of picking up big yards on zone reads or scrambling out of the pocket. One Big Ten coach praised him that he has nightmare potential, highlighting his velocity and elusiveness. NFL scouts see it too, with one NFC North scout calling him a, quote, raw talent, unquote, with first round upside if he refines his game. Games like Boston College last year showed his ability to take over with his legs, even if his passing wasn't always sharp. So what's holding Childs back? It's his decision making. It's his consistency. In 2024, some of his interceptions were total head scratchers, and fumbles came from just trying to do too much. He showed progress as the season went on, turning the ball over less, but he needs to take a big step forward in processing and protecting the ball. This is where the coaching staff comes in. Jonathan Smith brought in quarterback coach John Boyer, who Childs and Smith believe will make a difference. Boyer started coaching at Northern Colorado for most of his career since the early 2000s, and then went on to be an analyst at Oregon State in 2018, and then took over the tight ends job after Smith left in 2024. There's confidence that Boyner's hands-on approach is expected to help Childs tighten his mechanics and read defenses faster. Childs also benefits from a full year of playing in Smith's system, actually playing in it, not just being on the sidelines. It's a big advantage for a conference where 12 of 18 teams have new starting QBs in 2025. Childs isn't working alone. Michigan State's offense is stacked with playmakers. I mean, they have wide receiver Nick Marsh, very underrated talent, a standout freshman in 2024. He's poised for a big year. They got Omari Kelly, Krishan McCray to add depth as new players in the system, or to even be starting next to Nick Marsh. And tight end Jack Velling could be what he was at Oregon State a year or 2 years ago. The offensive line, which struggled with injuries last year, added Montana State transfer Connor Moore, an all Big Sky tackle. If the line improves, Childs will have more time to find his targets and stay poised in the pocket. But will that lead to success for Childs in 2025? See, it's not about Childs leading the Big Ten in passing yards. It's about efficiency, decision making, and consistency. Last year, had bright spots against teams like Maryland and Iowa, and he also threw interceptions in those games. So in 2025, early games against Western Michigan and Youngstown State offer chances to build confidence and fine tune his game before the Big Ten gauntlet. If Childs can hit around 2,800 to 3,000 yards, 18 to 20 touchdowns, and keep his interceptions under 8, he'll be in the all Big Ten conversation. No Spartan QB has thrown 20 touchdowns in a season since Peyton Thorne's 27 in 2021, and it's a realistic goal for Childs with this roster. The coaching staff's role is critical. Smith and Boyner need to help Childs improve his footwork, timing, and patience in the pocket. In spring camp, Smith noted Childs is stronger, showing better pocket presence. Accuracy is another focus that they've had, with too many throws in 2024 were either over or under his receivers. If Childs can connect more consistently with his weapons, his numbers will reflect it. He also needs to balance his dual threat ability, knowing when to stay in the pocket versus when to take off. That mental growth honed in with the film room will be the difference. It also helps that Childs is a natural leader, charismatic, confident, and respected by his teammates. He's expected to be a future captain, if not this year, but next year, and that leadership will matter at Michigan State, who will be chasing a bowl game this next season. It would be their first bowl game in 4 years. The Big Ten schedule is brutal, though, with QBs like Drew Aller, Dylan Raiola, and Bryce Underwood waiting for him. Childs doesn't need to necessarily outshine them all, but he does need to play smart, efficient football and be a reason why his team wins. His ceiling is top 3 in the Big Ten, but he's got to prove it on the field. Looking ahead to a strong 2025 could put Childs in the NFL radar. He's draft eligible next year, and scouts love his size, mobility, and arm talent, but they want to see that consistency. They want to see fewer mistakes. A breakout season, say leading Michigan to 8 or 9 wins with efficient stats, could make him a top QB prospect, not just for this coming draft, but maybe even the next one as well. If he's not quite there yet, another year in East Lansing could solidify his stock. But Spartan fans, I'm curious what you think. Are you ready for Childs to be who you thought he was? Like, are you giving him any grace here if he's not this season? Childs has the tool to be a top 5, maybe even top 3 quarterback in the Big Ten. His arm, legs, and leadership give him a sky-high ceiling, but it's not but it's on him to show better decision making, efficiency, and consistency, and it's on Jonathan Smith and John Boyner to develop him into that star. Will Childs seize the opportunity and lead Michigan State to new heights? We'll be watching every snap. But here is where we cover every single Big Ten team with us. You can be here with us every single Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday nights, 9 p.m. This is the Big Ten Huddle. Drop your comments in the comment section. Can Childs crack the Big Ten elites next season? Let us know your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one.